now locked into the 18-Wheeling Podcast.
Hey, Eastbound, you got your ears on? About a few miles past that chicken coop around Yardstick 324, you got a city kitty taking pictures.
A podcast for truckers by truckers.
Oh, there you go. What's going on, my people? Welcome to the 18-Wheeling Podcast. Y'all favorite host. He out on vacation. But I'm going to hold it down for the get around with, how you pronounce your name?
Gracefully Unfiltered.
Okay, where you from?
Connecticut.
Oh, Lord. But what I want to talk to you today, well, give the people your background, your profession.
Yeah, that's not really important, but I'm an executive HR consultant and a global compliance strategist. I specialize in all industries, and I am in the community. I'm a board member in some organizations. I'm a board advisor in others. You know, people know me by different titles, but I just get the work done.
That's what's up. So you're an educated black woman.
Yeah.
That's what's up. But my question is today, why truck drivers? Why we get looked over? Why the dating pool for us is just completely trash?
I mean, so how many truck drivers do you know cheated on their spouse?
You want the lie, or you want
We gonna be real. We gonna be real, and you gonna have your answer.
I mean, but what about the wife cheating on the truck driver?
No. We gonna stay focused on the first answer. You're not gonna rebuttal me with a question, sir.
I know several.
Several. Now, would you put a number on 95% that you know has cheated?
Hold on, why 95? Why 95 got to be so high?
I'm asking you for your number. You can clarify and go lower, but is it lower?
Yeah, it's way lower.
Like what?
I want to say it's about 60, 30.
That's basically the divorce rate right now averaging in America. So if you have a divorce rate tying in with industry that has a high cheating percentage, then why do you take that chance? But then also you're always on the road. You have long hours and long days. And as much as people walk around saying that they're confident and they can be by themselves and they don't mind it, they really do.
But
Most people,
hold on. Ain't life is about chasing the American dream? Or what we doing here? Or we live life just to love?
so you can chase the American dream, but most people are saying that they don't want to be in the bed by themselves. And a lot of people are looking at situations through a lens of trauma already. And I hate using that buzzword, but when you have already been cheated on or not had a successful relationship, and then you are looking at a truck driver who 9 times out of 10 is going to be gone, long days, long hours, and you might see them once a week, maybe, depending on where their routes take them. They're not thinking about doing that because what they experienced before, especially if they have been cheated on with a man that had only a 9 to 5, is not going to allow them to have peace when you're out of sight, and they can't handle that. And then also, unfortunately, bad news travel fast. So
what you mean by bad news travel
fast? So when you have someone who has a husband who's a truck driver and you hear that he cheated and you see the pain that woman goes through, and then you hear about somebody else, and then over time it becomes a trend amongst that industry. So what people are doing, and I can say females, but there are also female truck drivers that have their spouses at home,
and they cheat.
And they cheat, and that's the man. But 9 times out of 10, they're gonna be like, I don't want to deal with that.
So basically, you saying it's safe to say that a trucker need to date another trucker? That way, it will break the monotony of the BS and the cheating.
No, you need to have great communication skills in order to align yourself with someone who's going to have understanding and grace for you.
So, have you ever dated a truck driver?
Nope.
But why? But why is the truck driver off the table in your bucket list though?
Because the truck driver I knew was a cheater.
So you ain't never cheated now one time in your life.
I never cheated. There's no point in that.
So you ain't never. I lusting is considered cheating too.
Okay, but if you want to go down to the microgreen of it, but I never cheated.
But you lusted after another man though.
Not when
Why?
I was
Why
in a
you?
relationship.
What you mean? Not was you when you was in a
Not when I
relationship?
was in a relationship. Absolutely not.
Oh Lord. Hey, it's cool. This is a safe space for you to keep it real. You know.
It is a safe space, but see, you want to have this time where you try to catch me up on something, and that tells me that you have experienced a lack of discipline. So don't project your lack of consistency or your lack of discipline onto me. I'm telling you my answer of what I experienced in my life.
The whole 2025 dating pool.
I mean, it's whack because most people don't know how to take accountability, right? A lot of people are emotionally unavailable. A lot of individuals are emotionally immature. They're unregulated. As much as information is out here, people do not know how to apply it to breed wisdom, which cause a dysregulation in their emotions. So if someone cannot check their emotions and they're acting erratic, or one minute they want you, one minute they're not, and it's a bunch of hurt going on, eventually your body is going to want to build up a defense no matter what you do, whether it's psychological, physical, or emotional. Your body has one job: it's to keep you functioning and defend whatever hurts you, defend you from whatever hurts you. And sometimes we build these narratives and these shields in order to stop the hurt. And so when it comes to dating, at some point we deal with the denial of, you know, what we experience, so we block it.
So people deal with trauma different.
Yeah.
So it's best to say that 95% of today's relationships are toxic or
I would
or
say that they've been toxic, but they were normalized.
normalized in what way?
So
Like
let's talk about it. So I mean, you old as dirt. So not, long before you were born, men were allowed to hit their wives, and wives, women could not open up bank accounts without a man's signature, have a loan, nor get a education loan in order to receive a degree without a male signature. So, how likely would a relationship really been prosperous without the need of survival with that happening? Because we
mm,
saw what happened after 1974. We saw the divorce rate go up when women were able to divorce, because prior to that they were publishing papers with instrument sizes of instruments that you can hit your wife with. So relationships were already in a toxic state before, but they were normalized. And I don't want to hear about, the normalization being better, because slavery was also normal too at some point, or legal. So right now we're seeing the downfall, especially with like the large population of men having emotional regulation issues or dysregulation issues. Why? Because how many times did we walk into grandma's house and she tells you, oh, don't go into that room, your grandpa's on something else. He was throwing a temper tantrum as a grown man.
but these women this day and age, they use the B word a lot. So they
Okay.
normalize calling. their love, their spouse or husband, boyfriend, or significant other a bitch, and and just be like, oh, you acting sassy, or you got too many women tendencies, or yada yada yada, like and then not to bring up the fact that a lot of hormone imbalances that come.
I'm so glad that you mentioned that, right? So again, it goes back to your body taking on what has hurt you. So you then mirror what hurt you. So
But
now
at
instead
this,
of no, because we do it in our community. We were called the N word with the hard ER, and then we turned around and said, "Oh, we're gonna change the ER into an A." So now we're gonna take the power back. That's the same thing that females did. Oh, I'm a B. I'm gonna be the baddest B. And now we are perpetuating the same trauma onto other people because it's no good associated with that word, right? And then men love to throw up the hormone thing. Do you know what a
what
woman
you
secretes?
mean?
No.
A what?
Do you know what the female secretes during her menstrual?
Hell no, I ain't no damn woman.
But you should know it because it's testosterone, your majority hormone. So, riddle me this. If we are starting to act more aggressive and have attitudes and stuff, and we have majority hormone of testosterone, which you carry as a man, the majority of, because you also have estrogen, but that's not your dominant hormone. Um, would you say that we are mimicking the behaviors that are seen in men or guys? The
Correct.
aggressiveness,
But
things
at
of
the
that
same
nature.
time,
So, hold on. So, let me land this plane. So, that means that it doesn't matter if you're a man or woman, right? It means that you are unable to control your emotions.
what?
It
Hell
does
no.
not. It does not matter. You just agreed that a female is secreting testosterone. We that's a fact
But
biologically.
my thing is, how can you tell me how to act like something that you you don't know nothing about? You
How are
only
you?
like you need to man up and be a man and or act like a man. And my thing is, how can you sit here call say you're not being a man, but also you don't know nothing about a goddamn man.
I mean, we have men that believe that they can see the world through a woman's lens too. So much to a point that he feels like he has the woman's mentality to a point like they know why we are thinking what we're thinking and doing what we're doing. And so my only response to him was you wiping front to back or back to front? People
That's
will tell
disrespectful.
you, listen, it's real. If you feel like you can live your life through a woman's lens as a man, then you should know how to wipe as a female, right? But unfortunately, you don't. So that means that your mentality is skewed. And I'm not saying that every female that says that is correct, but what they are saying sometimes is that you are not leading. Men will beat their chest and say, "Oh, I'm a man." You don't have to describe anything that you are. People are going to see it upon your presence. It's
So
either there or it's not.
so in other words, in your traditional household, you will allow a man to lead you.
Absolutely.
All right. What if you see y'all going toward destruction? What are you gonna do? You're gonna test him, right?
There's no test when you already leading
No,
into
no, 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 no,
destruction.
no, no, no,
That's a
no,
waste
no,
of
no, no,
time.
no, no. I asked the question. If you see he's leading y'all toward destruction, you're gonna test him. Like, hey, what's going on? Why are we doing this?
But
Right?
that's not testing him.
What is this then?
What it is there, that's not testing him. That's asking, baby, what are we doing? Because this is what you stated that you're aligned with, but your actions or your decision making is misaligned. What are we doing? That's asking clarification. And some men who are unsure of themselves have an issue with that. However, when we go back to empires and dynasties, women always served as a confidant. the strategist. Men were ready to fight. Women will say, you know what, hold your thought. And I think this is where we get into these gender roles of wanting to be each other when we don't recognize our own power.
But at the same time, this day and age, you dealing with a bunch of a pool of women that's none but takers. They want to take. I want the NIGGA with the money. You know what I'm saying? That can provide a better life for me. And then if I have a baby for him, I'm running down to the child support office so I can get them dollars up out his ass.
So, but okay, let's dissect that. What are
Yeah,
most men leading with?
perception, eyes, looks.
Nah, nah, they're leading with their money. They're not leading with no looks. They're not saying, "Oh man, I'm six
I
five and I
so
look good."
hold on. But y'all women created. Oh, you don't need to date anybody out of your league.
What do you
So
mean that we created what? What are you talking about?
like dating down or dating up. So would you date somebody that works at Popeyes?
If they're a manager, yes.
Damn, why he just can't be a fry cook?
Why can you expect? Why do you have an expectation of leading something when you have not lead your life at this big grown age, except for being a cook?
God damn.
Like again, like you these individuals want to lead, right? And then when you look at their life, they have nothing to show for it. And so you expect or have the expectation because you have, a stick and two balls between your legs that it should automatically entitle or you should inherit a leadership position in a relationship.
But
Those
hold
no,
on.
those are the
But
type of men that may be or should go 50-50. Find a woman who's willing to build with you in a sense and not lead you. But most of those men have a complex because they didn't get too far in their life and they want to rule over someone, not lead. And it's two different things.
hold on, it is some women out here that will take that fry cook and help him level up.
And
You know
that's
what I'm saying?
great.
And help him grow as a person. But I'm talking about the women with status, the doctors, the lawyers, the single doctors, the lawyers, the what's that girl? Tiffany had to say, "Oh, I ain't gonna date no bus driver."
Listen, that's unequally yoked because of the mentality is different.
Unequally, yo.
The mentality is different. Fight me with it because you cannot turn around and try to peer someone who wasted the majority part of their life to where they are now in age. And their biggest accomplishment, right?
Hold on. When you say wasted,
They're
meaning,
wasted. Made bad decisions, chased after the girl that looked good, had like 5 kids, 3 different baby mamas, and all this other stuff, right? And the biggest accomplishment is being, in a fast food area or company, and they're not trying to achieve anything more, and then say that they will be a compatible with a woman who was disciplined, who sacrificed, who went to school, who like saved up her money, bought herself a house, saved some money for retirement, and is working a 9 to 5. They made two different life choices, and therefore their exposure is going to be different. Their ideology is going to be different. And I'm saying that in that scenario because it will be very different if this man got laid off and he is working 2 or 3 jobs to make ends meet, but he has a plan and trajectory. And then that's a different type of man. And that's going to show in how he carries himself, not just where he's at for the moment.
all right. So what's different between him and the dude that's probably making $2,000 a day slinging dope on the corner?
Nothing. He took the
Hey,
easy way out, but he has the greatest risk either. And 9 times out of 10, those individuals are fighting over a block they don't own any houses on, nor have they put money up on the books in case they are taken into custody that an attorney can actually pay for. Nor do he have any money on the side that if he is locked up, he's not causing more hardship on his family by, you know, basically forcing them to put money on the books. So not only did you not save, not only did you not invest, you are actually adding like a burden to your family now to support you while you behind bars, while you leave them unprotected.
you said adding what?
You're adding a burden to your family.
Yeah.
You're adding a burden to your family. 9 times out of 10, those individuals did not do what they need to do with all that money coming in. They splurged, they profiled, and they wasted it. They don't own a block of houses. They don't own a fleet of cars where they're opening up a rental car company. They're not even opening up a cash business to even wash the money. Let's be real. So at the end of the day, the mentality is the same of the individual regardless.
So in other words, you pick and choose men based upon compatibility, or tangible meaning or concrete or value that they have.
You pick a man based upon the fiber of his character, but unfortunately the perception that they provide initially is what you're going to initially judge them off of. And right now, because of how the world is moving so fast, you don't have long to actually see another side of that individual before you say yay or nay to trying to get to know them. So 9 times out of 10, that man can be really, really good, but if he's behind the counter, he's pants sagging, and he looks like he hasn't gotten a haircut and things of that nature, the likelihood of someone who is, in a corporate setting that is a C-suite executive going out with him is a high chance of no, right? A C-suite executive that meets a drug dealer is a high chance of no.
So basically, you gotta put on the front. You gotta clean yourself up, put on the front a mask, wear a fictitious mask in order to win the girl. Is what you saying?
So if that's what you took it as, like, fake the funk, then you would just be perpetuating what women already say about the men anyways. Y'all fake.
But
So,
it's
I
it's
mean,
vice
but
versa. It's
no,
vice versa.
but this is the thing you're talking about in this situation. And in this situation, what I'm saying is go with the person that best fits your lifestyle. If you are a drug dealer, go for the hot girls. They're gonna look out for you. They're gonna see what's saying. They're gonna have their ear to the ground, and that is who you need at that moment, right? If you are working at Popeyes, you don't need to be dating. Let's be real. You need to be saving up all your money that you can in order to get to a place that you should have been or where you need to get to.
Unless he's a manager, then you ask for what, a two-piece and a biscuit.
I mean, at that point, it depends on his benefit package.
Benefit package.
It depends on his benefit package. If his franchisor decides to say, you know what, I did a local deal with uh the housing authority to get you a 5% loan on for first time home buyers, or you know what, I have great medical and you only have to pay $25 a pay period for your medical, you know that gives him the ability to save. Or how about we're gonna match 100% with no cap to your IRA, your 401k, or whatever it is, that equals a compensation package. So the dollar amount that he brings home might be only 80,000, but his benefits will bring him to a six figure salary or compensation package.
So basically, you dissect the man money before you go in for the kill.
You are so hooked on this like vain
I,
stuff, like,
I'm just,
oh,
I
you
mean, at
dissect
the
the
end of the
money.
day,
No, because this is what men do. Once you say that you are be open to dating a manager at a fast food restaurant, now you're like, oh well, what is he gonna offer? Two beefs and a biscuit? And it's like, well, if I'm breaking it down, that man may have more value than the person that's working fries. Now it's like, oh well, you're dissecting his money. No, I'm dissecting what he's also bringing to the table in case we have to go 50-50. So I'm not ending up as a hospice nurse as a wife.
I see what you're saying. So are you cool with going 50-50?
Why would I go 50-50?
Why would you?
Yeah, what's the benefit? And what is your 50-50? Explain
Shit,
that.
your money, my money, my money.
Okay.
Shit. When I go buy my goddamn excursions and boats and yachts, you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? It's 50-50. Like
Okay.
like you know what I'm saying? Like you really ain't there with me while I'm shooting in the gym.
Okay. All right. So how does that equate to a household though? Because right now that sounds more like a roommate. So how does that equate to the household?
So what you want me to pay the rent, the mortgage, the car
No,
notes, and you
no,
take out the light bills or something?
no. I mean, if you are talking about 50-50, we're splitting everything from every household bill down the straight middle, right? What about the household duties? What about the cooking? What about the cleaning? What about the fixing stuff? What does that look like?
Shit, DoorDash, Uber Eats, uh, ramen noodle packages and shit. I mean, that's on you. If you want to keep the house, keep the house. That's on you. But ain't nobody got no belt at you telling you got to keep the house. If you want to go work, I think the old tradition, the whole what they call it, slave mindset is just really poison. 50-50, I really don't believe in 50-50. Me per
So
se,
let's stay focused on that scenario though, because you brought it up for a reason, right? And so as soon as a man states that, they state money. But what about the household duties then? Because you're no longer saying, I'm going to provide and I'm going to go work outside the house and then you can work inside the house. You're saying that nine times out of 10, I need your income in order to make do with the bills. But although I need your help, I still want you to handle 100% of the house. And so women are seeing that today and saying, you know what? I'm not my great grandmother. I'm not my grandmother. I'm certainly not my mother. I can do without it. Because everything you just mentioned, I could be doing that on my own. Or that could be a roommate, me and my single girlfriends, because men like to say to females now, oh, I'll just buy you a dog or a cat. Like that's putting a burden on us. And I think that comes from being scorned because that carrot that they used to dangle over females' heads are, oh, marriage. We choose marriage. Oh, what was the other thing that they choose? Oh, I bring in money. Now women are making their own money and saying, you know what, I don't need to be married. Now it's like, oh, well, you're overweight. Or now they're not nice. They're not agreeable because I'm not allowing you to go 50-50 with me with the bills, but then being the traditional wife inside the household, everything that you just mentioned is the same equivalency as a roommate. So why can't I do that same thing as a roommate with my single friends, and it might be three of us in three different rooms. We could actually buy a house and then pay off that mortgage and then buy two other houses within the 10-year time frame, which would 9 times out of 10 be longer than most relationships now. And then each one of my friends can be in their own house 9 times out of 10 at that point, have little to no mortgage to pay, and then just be paying taxes if the state that we choose to reside in have the actual property tax. So what would be the benefit of having a man at that point? Because if it's just about the physical intimacy, we can get that, or we can vibrate that. So what would be the purpose of that?
At what point? Hold on. What's the last part you said?
I said a woman can always get the physical intimacy or vibrate it. So what would be the point of a female in this scenario going 50-50 for what?
I mean, at the end of the day, when you go 50-50, okay, what you bring to the table and what your partner brings to the table. When we come together on something for the greater good of the well-being of us and
Okay,
our family and our household.
but you're not talking about the household. Every time a man talks about 50-50, they talk about the money. What about the duties within the house? How is that being handled? Most men do not want to handle the household duties. So that leaves the female. And then you talked about kids. Who's raising the kids? So I'm supposed to work the same amount of hours that you do. So spend the same amount of time. You get to say, oh, I'm tired, but I get to come home to child and a house that I have to maintain and food
So
I
you
got to
so,
cook.
so you saying the child is a burden or is like
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm going to say what most women don't want to say. It's a burden.
God
Especially
damn.
when you have somebody who's not pulling their weight, who is disengaged and don't know how to structure their emotions and is not disciplined and cannot clean up after themselves. That is an extra person now that you have to take care of, as well as run after a grown man who's talking about 50-50. If you want a house and kids, be able to provide for them, or make sure that you're willing to actually be a true partner to that woman that you want to build with and help her around the house and help her with the child. So she's not withdrawing at the end of the day because she's burnt out. Because
Hey,
newsflash,
but hold on. A lot of that shit they bring on themselves because don't nobody sit here and tell them, oh, be up the kids' ass all day. Sometimes I like being with the kids all damn day. Go drink wine with your homegirls and leave the house or something. You know what I'm saying? But women, quote unquote, they so hellbound bent on being in structure and this and that and running the house like on I guess or what their grandmama did or great grandmama did or what they were the upbringing was. But then you do have some households with no structure. But at the same time, women choose that shit. Oh, I want to be with the kids and be all in the kids' business. But it's some dads that's out here that, hell, I'm a nosy ass parent myself. I snatched the phone out their hand. Hey man, clean this goddamn room up, bro. My OCD kicking in. I don't like this. I don't like that. You know, I voice my opinion. But at the same time,
who
it's
gives
it's
a
it's
heck about your opinion when that child needs to be watched to make sure that they're able to follow instructions? Who's going to teach them? Who's going to nurture them from when she's carrying them in her belly to the point of where you can say, I can voice my opinion? No, you're supposed to be the leader. You're supposed to actually do action, show them. You're not talking about that. And this is where women do bring it on themselves, because then we're talking about a 50-50.
no. I'm sitting here saying women a lot of time will step up and take the initiative to bring it on for themselves. Like, oh fuck him, he ain't read my mind or he not doing what I want him to do, so I'm gonna go do it my damn self.
No, that comes from when a man is not acting. They're not taking the initiative. You're sitting on your butt trying to figure out, oh, what game is next? Oh, what we about to eat, man? I'm tired. I'm hungry. And why this is not done?
Hold
No,
on. Hold on.
now,
Life is not all about
hold on, hold on. That's when a woman's like, I gotta handle this. If she got yes, if she has to turn around and tell you, take out the trash. Hey, this needs to be fixed. Hey, did you do this for the kids? Are you gonna fill out the paperwork for the school? Are you gonna take them to the doctors? That's a lot of stuff that men just be like, hey, I forgot. And now they looking at you like, oh, you can't handle this? No, it requires you to be there and be engaged, not just be aware. And I think that guys underestimate how much it takes to raise a child in a whole setting.
So
When
that's
they get
when
older, yeah, go with your dad. You can talk, you can poop, you can go to the bathroom, you can articulate yourself. But before then, who's teaching them how to read, write, how to poop, pee, and what to do around the house in their manners? That is usually 9 times out of 10 fall on the female. And not because we want to, it's because men forsake their duties when it comes to the household, and that's including their family. And
my
they feel
thing is,
like it's okay as long as the child does not abuse them, embarrass them outside of the house.
hold on. A lot of people, how can you define really on how a household is supposed to be ran? If some people are brought up in a single parent household, some people are brought up in a two parent household.
Mm-hmm.
So the structure is different. The background is different. So
Exactly.
you can't a lot of shit help. All right. So my first child was at 25. I had to learn on
Okay.
my damn own.
Okay. But who you like? Do you think women are just born with the instruction manual? Like we apply ourselves, we figure it out. Whereas guys like, I didn't know what to do. I had to figure it out. Well, congratulations, we're in the same boat, but somehow we still manage to do it all. And then you turn around and get to say, well, I didn't know how to do that. And I was young. Well, we were young too. We were 9 times out by ourselves as well, figuring it out. 9 times out of 10, we came from a single household, but miraculously, we didn't walk away. And miraculously, we stuck in there and was engaged and tried our best. Whereas there are a lot of guys that like to quote unquote claim that they were pushed away or not allowed to do. Meanwhile, they're fighting for blocks and rims more than their own child. So that's a whole nother conversation.
Hey, ma'am, that shit sound like misery raising kids.
Right. And it's misery raising kids. And that's why females are opting not to do it and men are mad about it.
And what give you that notion that we're mad about it?
Negro, did you not see the laws where it's against the law to have an abortion? Who was that passed by? Not females.
Yeah, because I mean, look at the human population.
Look at the irresponsibility of the guys that are out here. We're talking about slim picking,
Irresponsibility.
irresponsible. You're irresponsible because
so every woman around here getting the R word, and we just releasing our venom. And I take two.
What you mean R word?
The R word. It take two to tango.
It does take two to tango, but a woman 9 times out of 10 is going to be left with the burden of raising that child. Because just like you said, it sounds like misery raising a child, but where the hell is the daddy? Is he supposed to be on the truck?
Just like what's the old boy paid that $1.8 million? He ain't want nothing to do with the woman.
What's $1.8 million? I don't know what you're talking about.
He paid 1.8. The basketball player that paid $1.8 million because he don't want nothing to do with the baby.
To who? I don't understand.
Some Instagram chick.
I don't know who that is.
I won't throw up no name.
Oh, I don't know. I can't talk about it because I don't know that individual.
But I'm saying in that sentence, like, okay, women. I feel like women target men, and the child is just the entrapment to the wallet.
And
Especially if he got status. If he
the
got
child
status
is,
and money, she's like, I got you, bitch. Come on.
and guess what? The child is an entrapment to a man who wants to keep connected to a female as well. Like, if we're going to go through every scenario where a child is used as a pawn, we can do that, but it happens on both sides. But it does not stop a man from walking away. That is his choice.
Mm,
Mm.
nine times out of 10, man, when you dealing with when a man, we are basically 95% of the man we go after lust, what we see, perception. You know what I'm saying? It's the one that's showing me the most attention for right now. And when the child does come along, it's like, okay, what's next? But
For you to step up.
at the same time, what is that woman pouring back into that man?
But it doesn't matter because you were not looking at that. You were looking at the lust. So you're going to get what you seek. And men would love to say that if you go searching for it, you're going to find it. Well, congratulations, sir. You just answered your own riddle. You go seeking lust and attention, you're going to get it, whether it's positive or
So
negative.
you
So
so you
now you
tell
got a
me you tell
female.
me you'll date somebody that's ugly?
I'm going to date somebody that's attractive.
That's what?
I'm going to date somebody attractive. And just because I see them to be attractive doesn't mean I don't do my due diligence in vetting them.
So every man needs to be vetted.
Every man needs to be vetted, especially when you got a plan to lay down with them.
But
Like,
what about the lies and like hell, even you do try to vet somebody, that shit be lies, and turn out you dealing with a scammer.
listen, people, when it comes to people being involved in a process, it is never going to be perfect. But at least you can say you have done everything that you can to avoid making a mistake of choosing the wrong person that cannot pray for you, but pray on you. A person who's going to look at you as your resource and not for the character or the foundation of your character as a person, as a man. Someone who's not going to leave you high and dry when your money runs up, but is going to sit there through sickness and health and be there for you to build with you or rebuild with you. And so at the end of the day, if you're not looking at that in the forefront, and your forefront is, oh, she got a BBL, that thing look good. Oh, she got lip filler. Oh, that thing look nice. I wonder what that do. Then guess what you want to get? A blood sucking chick
My
or
thing
semen
is,
in this matter.
hold on. So women don't come with no damn uh no what they call uh 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 they don't come they don't come with no goddamn uh
You
what's
see,
the
God
word
knows that
for
you
it?
about to lie. Go ahead.
Women come with a bunch of shit. They don't come with all of the damn directions to them and attributes and motherfucking breakdown context of what they can do and you know what I'm saying. A lot of these man, listen here. This day is far
No,
in
the
between.
women that you qualify for does not.
Hold on. What you
The
mean
women that
qualify
you,
for?
the women that is in your pool of qualifying individuals are not coming with those attributes. The women that you are not vetting are coming with those lack of attributes.
Man,
That is where,
I date women 70 and up with social security benefits and pensions
and
and shit. You understand?
so why are you complaining?
I
Wasn't
ain't
those
complaining, but I
wasn't those the good women that where households were whole back then, as men like to call it? So
man,
they
cook.
should be easy riding,
Yeah, they easy
or
riding, but at the
or
same time, the young generation is like, damn, use and abuse. Like
guess who use and abuse them? Yeah, go ahead and cheese. Like I see your whole cheek curling up like a daggone kernel. What you
You
gonna do? You
finna
gonna
build.
stutter again? If you give me do.
I ain't sitting here saying that. All I'm saying is that it got to be an equal playing field
It
on
is an
some
equal
kind of
playing field, but y'all don't like it
how.
now that it's equal. You don't like it that it's equal because now it's telling you that you didn't do much in your life whole to get the woman that you are truly attracted to. And unfortunately, the person that you're truly attracted to has other options.
Hey, always choose them. Choose them. Because at the end of the day,
See,
you're going to look in
God
my
knew that
goddamn
you were going to say
shadows and
something
be like,
serious.
damn, I missed a great one. So you
Okay.
saying choose women. So what the fuck? So choose a woman that pours into me, right?
You pour into each other. Remember, men like to be the leader. So what happened to you leading? What are you pouring into a female? Because at the end
No,
of the day,
no,
a
no.
female,
So,
nah,
hold
no,
on, hold on,
no,
hold on.
no, 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 no,
Ma'am,
no,
hold on.
no.
Wait 1 second. 1 second. Let me fix you on this because you said
One
back in the
second.
day, and when they was dealing with kings and queens, they would look to their wives or spouses for like a quinceañera or advice or like as a help support, right?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Did you or did you not say that?
I did say that, but guess what? That was not something that was initially done without the man showing or exemplifying what leadership looks like and having communication as what he needs from her because not everybody served in the same capacity. So if a man comes to, and I'm going to say guy because men comes with a set of maturity and things of that nature. If a male or a guy comes to a female and they cannot articulate, they are not like if they're not showing leadership qualities, they're not able to provide, they're not able to protect, they're not able to regulate their emotions, and they're not assisting or they have to be told what to do, you're throwing that female into a masculine type of mind frame because now she has to be the thinker and doer in the family. And now this is where most men start complaining. She starts telling you what to do, and you be like, hey, yo, you're not my effing mama.
No, no. Men and women already come emasculated. Hell, raised up and I jumped off the porch at 13. I've been trapping, doing this. I've been hustling, getting this on my own. I got 25 different brothers. The women already come pre-booked, emasculated.
Listen, and most of y'all don't have a problem with that anyways because y'all want equal partnership anyways. The only difference is that you don't have to sleep with another man, so y'all should really be happy because y'all want partners, y'all don't want really relationships. So why are you complaining for?
What you mean? Hold on. What's the damn difference between a partner and a relationship?
A relationship comes with a set of gender roles, or what I would say is a compromise where the man is going to lead and protect and provide, whereas a partnership is like, we're going to do this together. You going to pay 50-50, I'm going to pay 50-50. Oh, you got to go out there and work. And then I want you to come back and carry the baby on your back while you cleaning the house, like, so if she comes with a set of masculinity already, why are you complaining? Because obviously you're not going to take the initiative because you going to use the excuse, oh, I'm still learning. I don't know what to do. That's my first child. I got to figure this out. Meanwhile, she's supposed to just get in there and do it and not be offered the same grace. That's going to put any female in her masculine energy.
No, no, no. That's anybody. What you
Here
mean?
you
Put
go.
put
Here
them
you
at
go.
masculinity.
Here you go. Here you go with the BS. Just say you got a lot to learn and grow into when it comes to manhood. That just say that. That sounds a whole lot better than projecting blame
So what you know
onto
about manhood?
on
Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold
onto
on. Well, hold
Uh,
on. What do you know about manhood?
Obviously, more than you.
What do you know about manhood?
Obviously, more than you.
I mean, evidently you do.
Yep.
You
And
probably
so,
do.
so again, all I'm saying is just admit that you have some growing to do in your manhood, and that will sound a lot better to females knowing where you're truly
It's
at,
no.
and
Hey, hold
the
on, hold on,
trans,
hold on, hold on. You will
and
never,
the transparent,
you
and
will
the
never,
transparency.
you will never in a million years know what it feels like to be a man, or what a man goes through mentally, physically, or emotionally.
Okay.
Because we don't share the same body part. That's just
Oh,
like me telling you how to be a damn woman. And I don't
okay.
know shit about no damn woman.
But you have been stating that since the whole conversation. Oh, women come already equipped. Not the fact
That
that
goes
she
off of
was no. See, this is where you catch yourself up at, because now you want to speak on a female and womanhood, but then when I say just admit based on this conversation that you, not all men, you don't have enough growth in that area, that sounds a lot better to females, because I can say that because I'm a female, and the fact that you're transparent about your growth will get you a long way versus fronting as if you know what it means to be a man and be a leader and provider in the household. And I'm telling you this based upon what women are looking for, without putting them into a place where they got to feel like not only do they have to work outside, but come home and tell you what to do in the house.
mm, hey, I raised myself. You know what I'm saying?
Here
Yes,
you
I
go.
come from a single parent home. You know? So what you sit here saying like, oh, I'm weak in some areas? Or yeah, for as manhood, I learn each and every day. I educate myself. I got to, in order to be the better man for myself and my sons.
Okay, so before,
But for
so
as
why
women, but for hold on, but for women to sit here and say, oh, you this, or try to tell me how to be a man, or you need to grow in a certain area. How you gonna tell me about something you ain't never you ain't never even goddamn experience,
so
but you read about it, or
that's I mean somebody got to read about it. Here you are deflecting, but all I did was echo the same thing that you've been actually showing throughout this whole lie, where you got some growing to do without projecting it on someone else and making it their problem. And just like you said, you do have a lot of growing to do for you and your son.
hell yeah.
So instead of worrying about dating and getting a female
So
to
hold
help
on,
you
hold on,
grow as
hold
a
on, hold on,
man
hold on, hold
or
on, hold
feel
on, hold on,
validated,
hold
why
on,
don't
hold
you
on, hold on,
sit
hold
there
on.
and fix yourself?
So you mean to tell me? So you mean to tell me, as a woman, you're grown. You're
So
completely
here
and
you
fully
go.
grown as a woman.
Now here
No,
goes the tip
answer
for
my
that.
question.
No,
Oh
no,
shit.
no. I'm in the
Answer
middle
my
of a
question.
sentence, and you can't even have a
Answer my
conversation.
questions.
I will answer it after
All
I'm
right, go
done with my
ahead.
sentence. Is that okay, sir? Or do we have to
Yes,
have a
ma'am.
conversation about communication?
Go ahead.
So, what would probably behoove you is for you to sit with yourself and get a good foundation of what you like and what you don't like, your negotiables and non-negotiables. What is your ideology as a man for you, and what you want in your household? The part of being a leader is being a visionary. What do you envision for yourself, for your spouse, and for your kids? Get that first before you want to cherry pick a female and fit her to a vision that you don't even have yet, because you're still trying to learn yourself. Why don't you sit with yourself first? And then to answer your question, I have sat with myself. I have sat with myself and was single, did not sit there and say, well, why is the guy not choosing me? Why is X, Y, and Z? I have sat with myself. I have figured out what my negotiables and non-negotiables are, because at the end of the day, the problem that lies with a lot of females is that they end up compromising something that was supposed to be a non-negotiable. And then after the relationship does not work out, they are resentful because now they no longer know themselves, because they conform to the ideology of this man versus seeing whether or not their vision aligned with his and allowed him to take the leadership. Also, when you don't know yourself, protection seems a lot like control. So before I go and sit there and be a burden onto someone else, I had to get to know myself. Now, what I'm working on is perfecting myself every single day, because no one is perfect. But damn it, I have done the work.
I commend that.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, Tracy, it was fun. This
I love
definitely
you.
brought a lot of insight. Love you. But we definitely I'm gonna sit here and goddamn ministrate on this bullshit, and we gonna have to bring this back to the forefront one more time. You know,
I know your boy was going like, I want to know what he's thinking.
he talking about he crazy.